So this video today is all about how to get back on track with one of your goals and how to stay there. So this goal that I've been off track with for a couple of months especially, and overall probably a couple of years, is to do with my personal health and fitness goals. And it's kind of come to an head because I've booked this photo shoot at the end of May, and I decided I was going to get myself in a certain condition for that, and then didn't really stay on track with it. And writing the 30-day mind and body program, I spent the whole of April writing that program for it to launch at the end of April, well, beginning of this month, really kind of gave me the opportunity to really get honest with myself and assess where I am in terms of my goals at the moment. And I think one of the problems for me was, I'm very consistent with my training, health and fitness training. I'm very consistent with my food, but I had another goal that was going to stretch me further and was outside of that. And it was really starting to bother me that I wasn't really doing what it was, this desire, this thing I decided I wasn't really doing it. And I know that the same can be true for many people in their businesses as well, or their careers, or their relationships. Like, we have these desires and these goals and we get all excited about them and we set an end point for these goals, and as time goes by we can get distracted, or maybe our fears and our limiting beliefs get in the way, and even though we're clear about what we want, we still manage to fall off track. So what I want to share with you today is how I'm getting myself back on track. And I say this with a bit of but stay there. Like, it's safe for you to get back on track and to consistently stay there. So one of the first things I suggest you do, if you have a goal at the moment and you've come off track with it a little bit, is get completely honest with yourself about where you are at the moment. There's no use assessing something from an imaginary point or a point that you want to pretend you are. So maybe it's in your business, maybe it's a metric you can measure, like how many clients you've got, how many sales calls you're doing, how much money you've got coming into the bank this month is a really good metric to track it. And for me, in this case, with getting ready for this photo shoot, one of the tools, one of the metrics that I can use for that is my weight. So get absolutely honest with yourself about where you are without any judgment, without any beating yourself up. You need to know where you are at the moment. The next thing that I've done at the moment is I've got myself a coach, right? I've got myself a coach. Not because I don't know how to get my body in the right condition for this photo shoot. I absolutely do. But what happens when I get myself a coach is that I have someone that can do the thinking for me. I'm very, very busy in my business. I'm very, very busy with my family and with my friends. And that's where I want my focus to be. That's where my focus has been for the last 2 years. So very, very busy in my business. I know that if I get a coach who's an expert in that area, I haven't just gone and hired any coach. I've taken my time to pick someone who's an expert in that area. And so she can do the thinking for me. She can write the food plan. She can set the macros. She can decide the exercises. There's nothing that she's doing for me that is particularly, she's very, very skilled, by the way. Her name's Kirsty. She's very skilled. She's very, very good at what she does, and she helps people train to very high standards. But she's not really giving me anything completely new. But by having a coach that's an expert in that area, she gets to do all of the thinking for me. And she definitely has more expertise than me. She definitely has formulas that I don't have. And I get to hold myself accountable with her every single week at the moment, because I've been off track. It's twice a week, and I get to be honest with her. She gets to speak to me in a way that isn't fluffing it up. She gives it me how I like it, which is what I love, and I get to stay accountable with her. And the fact that I'm paying her some money and I've decided as an adult to put myself in this position, it gives myself more leverage to stay on track for this photo shoot that's coming up at the end of the month. The other thing that I would suggest that you do if you've come off track with your goals and you want to get back on track with them, is start sharing what you're doing with other people as well. Now, it doesn't have to be publicly on a live in your Facebook group, but you might want to just like hold yourself accountable with people that you know that you can be safe with and you can trust to support you, rather than point out your mistakes. Not that I believe in mistakes, but point out maybe where you're going wrong, and hold yourself accountable by share. I think what I've found to be the highest truth for me here, and you can use this tip too, when we share with other people what we're doing, we take ourselves more seriously. When it's only us that knows what we're doing, we can definitely let ourselves off the hook. The limiting beliefs can come in. Who are you to be doing this? What's the point of this kind of thing? And we don't take ourselves seriously. And I know for me, before I started my coaching business, and before I started my beauty business, there was a period of time where I had imposter syndrome and I did not take myself seriously on any level. Not seriously enough for me to actually achieve what it was that I wanted to achieve. And when you start telling people that you have this business or you have this photo shoot or you are a coach, and you start giving yourself that identity, you start to believe it more yourself, you start to take yourself more seriously, you start making sure that that is just who you are, and that you are going to do what it is that you're saying that you're going to do, or you're going to become what it is that you're saying that you want to become. And I believe, and our beliefs create our paradigm, they create our reality. I believe that change doesn't have to be slow. I believe that change can be very quick in some circumstances, and all that's needed for me to start seeing results with my body in this case is to just implement these changes quite quickly. And I know even just this week I'm starting to notice the changes that are happening now that I'm all in again. So one other tip that I want to share with you is that when I've got myself absolutely set on a goal, I will condition my environment to fully support that goal. So I know that some people struggle with looking at images on social media and feeling like they're not as good as the image they're seeing on social media, even though there might be the knowledge there that everything we see on social media is not true. But I like to use social media to take in information. So what I've been doing is watching YouTube videos of girls that are getting their bodies ready in a healthy, clean, peaceful, enjoyable, fun way. So I'm tapping into the frequency and the energy of other people on the same path as me so that they can form part of my environment. Now, your environment is at the bottom of your kind of like what makes you you. Your environment is going to influence your beliefs, your values, your identity. So when you're looking at achieving something, you want to surround yourself in an environment where that is normal, where that's the general standard, you're on the frequency, the energetic frequency of other people that are doing the exact same thing. So in 2 days, I've watched nearly 3 YouTube videos, which is not like me at all. You asked me last week, I do not have the time to sit and watch YouTube videos. But it's funny that when you set yourself on a goal, how you will make time for the things that then become important to you. So I've been giving myself helpful information and looking at stuff and feeding my brain, and so it becomes my environment, stuff that supports this goal along the way. I've done it very, very naturally in business. I have a coach, I'm part of a mastermind. I surround myself with people where being successful in their business and being coaches is very, very normal. So it's the exact same thing that I've done in this instance in my body as well. And so, one of the reasons in the 30-day Mind and Body program, we have a Facebook group and a community so that people can be surrounded by like-minded people. The reason this Facebook group was created so that people can be in the environment of like-minded people. And I do have people in my life that have health and fitness goals, which is brilliant. But if I didn't, and if you're someone that doesn't have people in your life that are in alignment with your goals, you can go to spaces in the internet or on the internet that can form that environment for you. So yes to coaches and masterminds and programs. Yes, Shelley knows the absolute power of them on a very, very, very deep level. So, what else did I want to say? Yeah, that was it really. So if you've fallen off track with a goal and you want to get yourself, it's a desire of yours to get back on track with that goal. You know the goal is something that you actually do want, because sometimes if we've fallen off track with a goal, sometimes it's because we don't actually want it, and that is fine too. Your desires are safe guidance. But you take an honest look at where you are now. So you use a metric that can give you an indication of where you are now. Get very honest with yourself. Hire yourself a coach or someone that can keep you accountable and has more information and is more expert in that area, so that they can do some of that hard work for you and keep you accountable and help to guide you and coach you through it. Start telling people about what you're doing, so it then starts forming your identity. You take yourself seriously on the way towards this goal, and it really does start becoming who you are. It feels very much more natural. And I'm going to use the words brainwash, and I say that in a very positive way, not a negative way. But what I mean by that is brainwash. Surround yourself, go to environments where the goal that you're achieving is very much the norm, it's very much safe, there's a lot of great information to help you in those environments, and you'll find that that has a massive impact on your motivation, inspiration and sticking power to whatever your goal is. So I hope that that's very helpful for you all today. I will be back in here next Thursday at 1:30, if not before, for another Level Up Your Day with Nay. Until then, if you have any questions, slide into my inbox or you can post them on the bottom of this post. I will see you next week.